National Bureau of Asian Research, or as we like to shorten it, NBR. Let me start off by saying something about the situations, the natural disaster in Asia and other things going on. It's a normal state of the human and natural condition that we have these things, and we love to see nations and humanity progress in capacity to deal with these disasters. And we do see a tremendous contrast between how one government is responding in Burma and another is responding in China. And I think it, of course, gives us great pause and concern when we see what's happening in Burma. It is somewhat, I'd say, encouraging to see so much progress in the way China is dealing with its current disaster compared with those in the past. So, in any case, I know we're all deeply concerned about the human impact in these two countries, and we hope well. But I do want to say that it is striking to this long-time observer of affairs in Asia how much progress has been made by the People's Republic of China, in my view, in dealing with these kinds of things. So anyway, our heartfelt good wishes to all people affected. And let me start off in terms of this activity today to let you know how proud I am of the tremendous lineup of speakers we have. It's extraordinary. In fact, I trust everyone brought note paper and or its electronic equivalent. Eric, can we give out some sort of certificate to those who pass the test that we give at the end? I just want to make sure that people get credit for this. It's one of the innovative ways we bridge the academic and policy worlds by giving examinations at the end of our NBR is the dream of Senator Henry M. Scoop Jackson, who, by the way, we're just a few months short of the 25-year anniversary of his death, and interestingly, that same day he died, KAL 007 was shot down, and so it's been 25 years. It's hard to imagine a quarter of a century going by so quickly. In any case, the dream of Scoop was that we would, in fact, bridge academe, the policy world, the private sector, to bring the very best, and partisanship. We're going to bridge partisanship as well, to bring the very best information to decision makers who really do make a tremendous difference in the world. And our programs, as most of you know, cover the full breadth of the Asia Pacific, from Russia and Central Asia to South Asia, Southeast Asia, and Northeast Asia. We hope that and this is, I think our program indicates that today, bring the very best people and the best minds to bring the very best information and judgment. In a historic transition, the center of gravity of global affairs is shifting from the North Atlantic to the Asia Pacific. Indeed, the Asia Pacific is already the new center of world power and influence. I think we kind of read about it daily, but it's one of those things that you just have to realize it's already done. That the center of power, whether measured economically, militarily, or whatever, has shifted. And commensurately, Asia Pacific nations are seeking and making progress and playing active roles in shaping their regional affairs as well as the international system more broadly. Transition, of course, is not complete. Economic growth is uneven, as is political development. The structure of global institutions does not yet fully reflect the new pecking order. And the region still lacks an institutional structure able to accommodate effectively its diverse cultural and political systems, vast differences of wealth and population, competition for energy resources, There are nascent arms races, border disputes, conflicting historical legacies, of course, and rising nationalism. Potential flashpoints pervade the region, particularly on the Korean Peninsula, the Taiwan Strait, the South China Sea. And America's alliances, those antiquated yet historically so important and currently so important artifacts, still remain the bedrock of stability there. Amidst this rapid change, it is clear that Asia is increasingly important to U.S. strategic and economic interests, and the U.S. can and must continue to play its essential role in the region. You know, this microphone, my breath is not that bad. Anyway, so the U.S. role is still, of course, essential in the region, and as our speakers will discuss today, because of the transition, because of the rapidity of change in the region, we're going to have to pay so close attention to our allies, to our friends, to everyone in the region. We have to have an informed policy. We have to be flexible. We have to really give considerable time to formulating strategy in the region, and an integrated strategy that takes into consideration economic, political, and military affairs. This kind of integrated strategic thinking has become a greater challenge, and there are a lot of policymakers in this group today, a lot of people who have to respond to crises, who have to do things fast. You come in with an idea, and I'm reminded of the current administration. It came with an idea. It was going to make a big priority in Asia. It reconstituted the National Security Council to focus more on Asia, doubling the members of national security staff on Asia and so on. And then 9/11 happened. So in any case, the problem is that you have to respond to crises, and so this long-term and integrated strategic thinking is tough. And it's tough to stick to whatever formulations you might have come up with. Nonetheless, to be effective, and I think we've seen it in Chinese strategic behavior, it's advantageous to think strategically, and it's advantageous to adhere to ideas and a plan of action that has a good chance of positive outcomes. So that's one of the reasons we're here today, is to begin this strategic thinking. We're going to have a transition in our own government in less than a year, and as a consequence, we've got to begin now thinking about, is this one of those times we might be able to pause, we might be able to commit ourselves to doing the things that have worked and that are working, to look critically at those things that may not be working right, and to chart the right path ahead. Now, I look forward to a set of stimulating presentations. As I said, we have a tremendous lineup, and it begins with our first speaker, Congressman Rick Larsen, who hails from NBR's home state, Washington State. Congressman Larsen is, I want to say this really from my heart, is a real embodiment of Scoop Jackson's spirit and attention to the big issues in national security. He is respected for his commitment to public service and is now serving his fourth term representing the 2nd Congressional District of Washington State. Rick is a member of the Armed Services Committee, the Transportation and Infrastructure Committee, and the House Small Business Committee. Of course, we have him here because of that first assignment primarily, and because he has taken a tremendous interest in the major rising nation of the world today, China. In particular, he is highly regarded for his leadership and vision on Asia policy, especially China, as co-founder and co-chair of the U.S.-China Working Group, which, as you know, educates members and their staff on U.S.-China issues through meetings, briefings, all kinds of interactions with the political leadership of China. I'm honored to chair the working group's academic advisors, His working group, and I should add here, he co-chairs this with Mark Kirk, Congressman Mark Kirk, has grown. I think you have over 60 members now, which is fantastic. Suggests there is a sizable number of members of the House who recognize that China is this factor that we have to engage with, understand, and so in any case, my thanks go to you. By the way, the Chinese have not been unaware of the working group. Indeed, when top Chinese leaders come to the United States now, they meet with Rick, and when he goes there, he meets with them. But we're glad you're here today and not there, Rick. I really appreciate this, and thank you for kicking this off. I welcome you up here, and we look forward to your remarks and a short Q&A. Thank you so much, Rick. Highly regarded for his leadership and vision on Asia policy, especially China. As co-founder and co-chair of the U.S.-China Working Group, which, as you know, educates members and their staff on U.S.-China issues through meetings, briefings, all kinds of interactions with the political leadership of China. I'm honored to chair the working group's academic advisors. His working group, and I should add here, he co-chairs this with Mark Kirk, Congressman Mark Kirk, has grown. I think you have over 60 members now, which is fantastic. Suggests there is a sizable number of members of the House who recognize that China is this factor that we have to engage with, understand, and so in any case, my thanks go to you. By the way, the Chinese have not been unaware of the working group. Indeed, when top Chinese leaders come to the United States now, they meet with Rick, and when he goes there, he meets with them. But we're glad you're here today and not there, Rick. I really appreciate this, and thank you for kicking this off. I welcome you up here, and we look forward to your remarks and a short Q&A. Thank you so much, Rick. And we look forward to your remarks and a short Q&A. Thank you so much, Rick.